Hello everyone, it is Erin Floto here, and I am here to talk about different bullet journaling styles that you could incorporate into your bullet journaling life, your planning life, etc. So one of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because I have changed my bullet journaling style so many times over the years just to kind of adapt to how I was feeling in the moment. And so I thought I would go over some of the types of bullet journaling styles there typically are. And then if you wanted to change your own bullet journal style, if you feel a little bit lethargic coming up on the end of the year and you want to get kind of a new passion for bullet journaling going into 2025, you can explore some of these styles as well. The first one is the planner. So this is like a very traditional type of mentality. So you have everything in one type of planner, aka bullet journal. You have traditional bullet journaling spreads. You have your future log. You have monthly calendars. You have an index. You have a lot of very traditional types of things and maybe less collections. It's more of, hey, I need this to plan. Like, I need to have tasks down on paper, and that is primarily what I am using my bullet journal for. So this includes something like having a monthly calendar, having a section for weeklies, having a section for dailies. And then you may incorporate some arts and decorations into it, but it's not really the focus. The focus is really the tasks and having very traditional types of spreads. Now, this isn't really a minimalist idea. This is more of just wanting everything collected in one space so that you can work on your own life. Moving on, we have the art journal. So a lot of people on Instagram, on YouTube, kind of fit into this category, that more time is spent on art than your actual plans. Hopefully that's not the case, but sometimes needing that creative outlook is really what you're focused on when it comes to your bullet journaling. All of your spreads have some sort of art element on the page. For example, if you're doing a mood tracker, each day that you're doing is incorporated into a larger art piece. Say you're doing a rain theme, and each day is a droplet of rain that you can color in. That way you are incorporating art into everyday bullet journaling. Your planning is secondary. So your primary purpose is to get that creativity, to get that passion, to find that outlet for yourself. And then planning is just a bonus on top of that you can create these beautiful, wonderful spreads. And at the end of the day, you can put some tasks down on paper. And the last part is you won't use the spreads if you consider it ugly. Now, this may not be ugly. It may be the most beautiful thing someone has ever seen, but you are not happy with how it turned out. And so therefore, you may abandon that spread because it is not good enough to use, or you may abandon your bullet journal altogether if you are not happy with the theme, with the art in that particular month. The next one is trackers. So your bullet journal style is very strictly tracking. Your primary focus is to track things, whether it be your exercise, whether it be your finances, whether it be how many steps you take in a day. All those things are things that you want to keep record of in your bullet journal. You incorporate trackers on most spreads. Maybe you have monthly habit trackers, and then on your daily, you have a water tracker, for example. So you can have trackers in multiple different types of areas of your bullet journal. You also may like to incorporate a graph or a chart of some sort. For example, if you are doing level 10 life and you have a bar graph every single month, this is something that I do, that you try to that you can visualize your trackers in a much better way with some sort of graph or chart. And last but not least, You always incorporate a monthly review because at the end of the day, you're tracking for a reason and you want to see how many days did you reach 10,000 steps? How many times did you meet your budget for that month? So you always like to include some sort of review process. That way you can gather all of the information from your trackers and put them into a summary. Number 4 is working ahead. So this is less of a style and more of a lifestyle when it comes to your bullet journaling. You know what works for you because you are often working ahead in your planner. And so you know the types of spreads that work really well for you. You set up spreads in advance. So if you are 2 months into or 2 weeks into a month, you are already working on the next month. If you are halfway through the week, you are setting up the next week already. You want to work ahead of time. You could go minimalist or maximalist depending on how you are feeling. So if you have a lot of time on your hand, you are already working in the next weekly, you may go a little bit more maximalist. If you want to set something up but keep it bare bones, you are more than happy doing that as well. So working ahead of time and working ahead in your bullet journal. And you like to check into your bullet journal multiple times a day. That way you can just tweak up some things that may be happening in the future. Number 5 is new items. Again, this is less of a bullet journal style and more of a lifestyle. You are into bullet journaling as a secondary to actually buying things for your bullet journal. So your style is more of stationery. You love using stationery. You love purchasing stationery. You love trying out new stationery. And you want to incorporate that in some way. And a bullet journal is a great release for being able to try out all of those new items. You use new items in every month. For example, this month you may be into stamping. So you have a whole new stamp set. You are really into it. You have brand new colors. And then the next month you get a watercolor palette and you are really into watercolors the next month. So you are often trying new things and new styles because you want to use some of the new items that you purchased. And you love to show these things off on Instagram. So you have a beautiful flat lay and you have new paints all over the place. That way it's both beautiful and aesthetic for your Instagram, and you can show, hey, I got some new products as well. Number 6 is kind of the opposite way, is a minimalist. You don't incorporate art into your bullet journaling or your planner. You maybe use a colored marker every once in a while. Maybe that is your theme, is picking a new color every single month, and you really very mildly use that color for something like headers. But otherwise, you are using very traditional spreads. You probably use a fountain pen, and that is your main bullet journal style, is pen and paper, and that's it. Everything is very traditional. Everything is very beautiful. You have amazing handwriting, I guarantee it. And that is your bullet journal style, is really leaning heavily on the plans, the utensils that you use, and your handwriting at the end of the day. And then last but not least, I like to call this the changling, where you don't really have a style of your own. You like to try other people's styles. You like to try other people's spread ideas. You maybe use sticker kits from artists, and you like to play around with different types of things. Maybe you have the same type of setup all the time, but you are incorporating different things that you've seen on the internet and adapting and trying a bunch of new things. You are trying not to mimic others, but trying to capture lightning in a bottle of finding something that works for you because you are trying a ton of different things. And every month is a new opportunity for you to try new things and to try new spreads and to incorporate something from one of your favorite artists. You may incorporate stickers, washi, or scrapbooking styles depending on how you are feeling in that particular month. And as I mentioned, you get a lot of inspiration online. So you are constantly looking for inspiration. You are constantly looking for resources. Maybe you are gaining access to someone's Patreon. Maybe you are getting freebies from a Facebook group. You are constantly adapting and looking for new things that will just continue to spark your creativity and spark your use of bullet journaling. And those are all 7 types of bullet journal styles that I've come up with you for today. I hope that you like this video. I hope that this was interesting for you. And I hope that no one's offended by this, because maybe you are trying to incorporate several different ones in here, because I myself can see aspects of my planning in a couple of these areas. For example, I think the art journal and the tracker really speak to me in particular. When I started this, new items was definitely my thing, but I think I'm more of a mix of these two now. So I hope that this was fun for you. Let me know if you think you fit into one of these categories below, or if you fit into multiple, and let me know which ones those are. And thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.